I'll give you a quick tour.
This is my room.
Yeah, and we went through like that TikTok phase.
What was your favorite house that we lived in Puerto Rico?
Well, surprise, we moved again. If you've been following our family for a while, you know that we move an embarrassing number of times. We were kind of settled in Kansas City, loved our house there, and then we decided to go on an adventure to Puerto Rico. And at the time, we didn't know how long-term that would be, so we just decided to rent. And then we wanted to try another rental, and then we wanted to try a different area. And long story short, we've been renting for 3 different years, and we've lived in, this is now our 5th house in Puerto Rico.
So you guys remember the first house we lived in?
Yeah. Guaco Taco.
And why did we call it Guaco Taco?
Because we couldn't pronounce the name of the street right.
I like Guaco Taco. It's a funny name.
All right, here is where Laura and Janae are sleeping. Here is Isaac and Cubby's room.
Yep. Pretty awesome.
Favorite memory from our first house in Puerto Rico?
It was really fun how we played with the mirrors in our room. You're so bad at it.
So Janae, what's your favorite memory from the Guaco Taco house?
My bedroom and my toys.
In that house, you had a feeding tube. And then we were able to get you off the feeding tube in that house.
Wow.
You want some milk?
Well, while we lived there, we had a lot of visitors. That was fun. But another thing I really liked was when we did the homemade skee ball.
1, 2. Woo! Laura has 4 points. No, you're up to 4. That was great. 3. What a start. Almost in the 5. Oh! This is the first time we did 3 Kings Day.
Yes,
and we
did
brought
3
like all the
Kings
grass.
She's like, somebody's getting in trouble.
And then making flan with Papa Keith. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Granny Joe and Papa Keith, we saw a lot there. She would come and do piano lessons with you guys.
I'll give you a quick tour. Here's the front door. The front door opens straight into the main living area. The kitchen is open to the living room, and I just love that. We just moved in a few days ago, so there's definitely still some messes in some corners, but we've made a lot of progress. So here's the kitchen. You guys, I love this space. It just feels like home. And this is our homeschool mess. I mean, cupboards. And these doors are one of my favorite features.
No, nothing matters. Nothing matters. That's what he just told you. I was only 5 when you gave me an iPad. No.
Janae, who are you talking to on the phone?
Razy.
The next house we lived in was the 4-story house. What are some fun memories from there, or favorite memories?
I remember running up the stairs and down the stairs.
Time to get your costumes on.
That's beautiful. It's Halloween!
I remember one time in that house, you got super scared because you thought a bad guy was going to get you.
Oh, yeah. Flashback. There's a bad guy in my room. Then I be scared, then I say, like that. Then there's a bad guy, then tell us there's a bad guy there. So you turn on the light. So this one's the bad guy. That was the house where we went to school.
You went to a Puerto Rico school that was a Spanish-speaking school.
Yeah, they assigned homework and it was fun. We had a uniform.
1, 2, 3, big smiles.
Looking
Get a
good.
little closer.
Didn't we cut your hair there for the first time?
Oh yeah. So not for my first time.
Okay, but we cut your hair in that house, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, today we are going to cut hair.
I can't believe this is my hair.
The memory I remember the most from there was when there was bugs in our food.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
That was.
It was like in our noodles or something.
Yeah.
This is disgusting.
Can I see them?
Yuck.
What?
Those are weevils.
Oh.
Yuck, huh? So we're getting rid of those. Oh my goodness. Ah! From the den, we go outside to an awesome patio. Jeremy and I have big plans for this patio. And off the patio is Jeremy's favorite feature. It's because it is a separate office. You guys, he's having his own office space, and that's a big deal. Okay, Jeremy's gonna be so bugged because his office is always clean, but it's messy at the moment when I'm showing you. We had to move a bed in here to make room for the girls' bunk beds that they're having in their room. And it actually works out really well because this can also double as like a guest area if people come and stay with us.
And then we were in the quarantine house.
The quarantine house.
How about memories from
Okay,
that?
that might be my favorite just because, like, during quarantine, I actually had a great time. We had Jack and Rose. That was maybe my favorite part.
The
we had
dogs.
a dog.
We had Jack and Rose.
Jack and Rose, the doggies.
I love them. They're my baby girl.
Yeah.
They're my girls.
What did you love most about having Jack and Rose?
Feeding them.
Some water.
I wanted some water too.
You feeling thirsty?
They tried to snuggle me.
They try to kiss your face.
Yeah, they tried to kiss me.
It's heartbreaking to think of what these sweet little puppies have been through in the last couple of days. They've been through an earthquake, they've lost their mother. Janae, what are we gonna go get?
We're gonna get a doggy.
Obviously, the quarantine is a very fun memory. Mom would make cakes for how every week that we were in the quarantine.
Declared a public health emergency.
Well, we just heard today that my mom tested positive for COVID-19. We are on lockdown.
Put the produce into some soapy water and clean everything off as best we can. This home has been our coronavirus home. I will literally never forget our time here. It's just been such an interesting part of life and history even. We have been quarantined here in lockdown for weeks upon weeks. And this home was such a comfortable home for us to be in during that time, with the backyard and the trampoline, and just the layout of the house really worked well for us. Having our bikes and our piano, and Jeremy had an office. It just was a beautiful, safe, happy place for our family. We've had friends come and play with us here, and there's just lots of great memories. Christmas and birthdays. I feel like every time I say goodbye to a house, I'm saying goodbye to a little tiny piece of my heart. I don't know why I get so attached to places, but I really do.
One of those are gonna land.
Do you know why I think it's mesmerizing?
Right.
Because it seems like it should be simple, but it's hard.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we did Tik Toks. The Marie did.
Yeah, during quarantine,
Bum,
we did
bum,
Tik
bum, bum,
Toks.
Baby, come give me some.
Yeah, and we went through like that TikTok phase
Yeah.
where we did all those TikToks.
We were bored. It was
Yeah.
fun.
My hands are high, my feet are low, and this is how I popsicle. Popsicle, pop, popsicle.
Oh, and remember that time when we played in the rain with you, Daddy? We brought this boogie board out and slid down, remember?
I do remember.
It was so much fun.
I remember we did the obstacle course.
Yes, the obstacle course in the backyard and playing in the rain. That was really fun.
Yeah, I remember that we tried to block the things.
The gutter.
And then when we would sit up, it'd be like,
On your mark. Get set, go. Release all the water.
okay, so once we built this awesome huge fort that filled our whole entire living room, that was really fun.
I also remember when you guys were doing the garden in the backyard.
Oh yeah, we were playing in the mud. Janae, you were there.
You're a good girl, Janae. Right, Caleb?
I also really liked the swing in me and Isaac's room. We actually had a swing.
One of my favorite memories there is just sitting in the swing in our room and just reading. I read there so much, and like in my dream house, I'm gonna have a swing in my bedroom. That's required.
That's also where I was diagnosed with epilepsy and I had my first seizure, so
It's a memorable experience.
yes.
It's been amazing to see the flood of love and support from our friends here on the island. With one phone call, she was there, and she spent the entire time at the hospital with me, helping me through all of that.
All of the kids have been just showing an outpouring of love and support for Caleb. Elise's room. How do you like your new room?
I love it. It's amazing. It feels so nice to have my own space. I have a lot of stuff. You want to see my closet of crafting stuff?
Yeah.
My dresses. My coats rarely used. What I usually do in my own room is I try to relax as much as possible and I listen to a book on audio and I do like, I don't know, I draw, I play with clay, I do crafts and all the things.
Yeah. Well, so far, we've only been here for like a week.
Yeah.
Less than a week.
This is my room.
This is my other favorite feature of this house, is this set of doors that leads to the hallway with the bedrooms. It just helps the echo go down a little bit. How are you?
Good.
Can you show me my room?
Yeah.
Where's Mom's room? All right. Here's Mom and Dad's room. Yes, big bed.
Is it who are you, Marco?
Oh, I'm not Marco Poloing, I'm vlogging. This is our friends on YouTube.
Oh.
Can you say hello?
Hello.
Is there anything you want to tell our friends on YouTube?
I miss you.
You miss them?
Where are they?
Oh, they are watching on their phones or devices or TVs in their own houses.
And where do they live?
Oh, they probably live all over. Maybe some people live in Kansas City, maybe Arizona, maybe in different countries.
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah, probably some people live in Puerto Rico just like us. Is there anything you want to say to our friends?
I love you.
Caleb, can you say hi to our friends?
Hi.
What do you want to say to our friends in the camera?
I want to see the.
Do you want to see it? They're not in the camera, they're in the internet.
The internet?
Yeah, they're in the internet. They're sitting in their rooms watching. Do you want to say hi to them?
Yeah.
Say hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
What do you want to tell them?
I don't see them anywhere.
You have to imagine them. They're watching you.
Can you get them out there?
You want me to get them out of the camera?
Yeah.
The camera's too small to get them out of.
Here's our bedroom. I love that big window, and I love that there's a nice comfy headboard. We've got a TV in here. All right, this is Jeremy and I's bathroom. We put up a bunch of hooks to hold our swimsuits. And here's our closet. Also the first time in Puerto Rico that we've had a different room for the toilet, which Jeremy and I are big fans of.
Then we moved to the waterfall house. What are some of your favorite memories from the waterfall house?
Oh, it's hard. There's so many things. When it was my birthday.
You did have a birthday there. Do you remember what your big present was?
Yeah.
What?
A car.
A car?
No, that was for Christmas. Oh. A new car!
What?
Yes! Open! Oh my god!
Did we have a bicycle?
Bicycle! Yeah, you got a bike without
You
changing
learned how to
wheels
ride
for
your
your first
bike
time.
there.
Yeah.
She's so excited.
I think she's gonna be able to do it without training wheels.
What?
I love this bike.
Well, you look great working hard.
So I remember Easter. That was pretty recent. That was fun.
Oh yeah, Easter! I loved Easter! Flashback.
Don't fall in. You got it.
Oh my goodness! That was a hard one. I got another one. Like a hard one.
Janae's running. She found something. Oh, so balancing.
All right, now of all the houses, what was your favorite house that we lived in Puerto Rico?
Taco!
You loved the first
Taco.
one? The first house?
Actually, I think the 4-story house.
I really liked the quarantine house. I think that one's my favorite so far, but this new house is really awesome so far.
What's your favorite and why?
My favorite memories were in the quarantine house.
I really like the quarantine house, but I also really like the 4-story house.
Well, with so much moving and so many transitions, our family has sure learned a lot in the last few years. It really has changed our family. It's been really challenging. I think anytime you go through really challenging things, you learn and grow. We've learned to be really flexible and to adapt to whatever place we're in. We've learned to not hoard stuff. We get rid of and donate stuff every single time we move because it's too hard to move too much stuff. But also I feel like on a really deep level, we've learned what home is, and that home isn't an address. It's not the walls of the home or the bedroom or the furniture that you sleep on. Home is each other, because everything else has been changing. But I feel safety and peace. I feel at home when I'm in Jeremy's arms and when our kids are fighting and wrestling and laughing and singing and being really loud all around us. That is my home, regardless of the location I'm in. So I know that's cliche, but it's also definitely true. It's been hard for me to not be settled because I'm a planner. I like to have a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan or a 20-year plan. And sometimes in our life these last few years, I feel like I've barely had a 20-minute plan. But I'm learning faith and hope and just growing along the way. It's interesting how each of our journeys in life are so different, but these different experiences we all have are fine-tuned to stretch us and help us and just help us grow and progress more towards the people that we want to become like. And that stretching has definitely been felt painfully in our family. But I think we're also starting to see the good that's coming from it too.
Awesome. Anything else you guys want to say?
Good morning!
Good night. J House out.
We found out that someone stole a chocolate chip cookie.